believe that we're gonna get Brandon Ingram since he fits and has a bigger. I just don't think so. I think the team's gonna develop them, and I think Ben Simmons is. I just don't feel like they're really good at developing their players, and like the Lakers might not be either. But I feel like they are better since they have more young players, a diversity of young players, but you know grow with Brandon Ingram if we draft them, and I feel like the 76ers are going to go with Ben Simmons because of that ceiling, and that ceiling is to LeBron James, I believe. But then again, Brandon Ingram can become Kevin Durant. They're very different. Brandon Ingram's that shooter, knockdown three shooter, that good defender. Even though his weight, he's a little too skinny. He's gonna get some meat over the summer. He's eating like 5,000 calories per day, and like Ben Simmons is the difference. He's the rebounding and passing. But that doesn't mean Brandon Ingram doesn't have rebounding and passing. He has rebounding and he has decent passing. It's just he excels at shooting, which beats him. So I feel like somehow Brandon Ingram's that more better safe pick. So you know how like Jahlil Okafor was the safer pick last year? I feel like that's Brandon Ingram's the Jahlil Okafor of this year. You know? So I just wanted to do how our lineup would look like, saying that we signed everyone back. So if we draft Brandon Ingram, right, and sign some new players and sign whoever we have back. So our lineup's gonna be looking like D'Angelo Russell, Jordan Clarkson, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and blank spot at the center. Well, I strongly believe also that we're gonna sign DeMar DeRozan. There's a lot of rumors about him wanting to come. We have 60 million in cap space to offer him. 60 million cap space. We can offer him a max, even though I don't think he deserves a max. We can give him something close to a max. I think 20,000 per year is good, not 25, 20. But if you really want to get an offer him 25, I don't think it's a smart move. And I'm not saying we don't go to for Harrison Barnes, but we already have a small forward. And then we have a power forward. We have Julius Randle at the 4, right? Now, D'Angelo Russell, we now know he can shoot, he can facilitate. Well, we don't know how much about his facilitating, but you can see the highlights where you can see his facilitating powers and how his court vision and stuff. Some assist in his rookie season, right? Now, Brandon Ingram's that 3-point shooter, too, slasher, defender, good player, man. So they're gonna be knocking down threes. So you have two people that are knocking down threes. Okay, so those two are gonna be spreading the floor, and D'Angelo Russell is gonna be running, right? DeMar DeRozan is gonna attack the basket, but since they're spreading the floor, D'Angelo and Brandon Ingram, that's gonna leave some space for Julius Randle, who's also an attacker and post up player, right? Yeah, he's going to develop a mid range, but his game as now is attacking that rim, right? And getting close. We don't know much. He only played for like he only coached for like 44 games, if I'm right, right? So I feel like he's an offense oriented coach, and we need to sign a defensive oriented coach as well, either assistant coach or just like I forgot, like just a regular coach, right? To help us out with that. But yeah, it's gonna leave isolations for Julius Randle because they're spreading the floor. So right, so then you have 3-point shooters and two attackers of the rim. Now we gotta sign a good center. I'm just gonna say we signed Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside, I don't know how I feel about him. I actually care about the stats, statistics. If he's getting blocks and lowering defense, that doesn't really matter. Like I'm gonna go compare him to 2014's Roy Hibbert, I believe, where he was locking down LeBron James and stopping him when Indiana was going against Cleveland, right? He was a beast. Not because he was just not he was getting like a good amount of blocks per games, and he was improving the team's defense stats wise. If you can do those two things, you're a beast. You're a beast. I'm just saying you're a beast center. But Hassan Whiteside lowers your stats. your statistics wise in defense. Lakers don't need that. They needed their stats to be better. Oh, but the 10 blocks are gonna make us better. But he's still. I don't doubt he's gonna make our defense better, but he's not gonna improve it as much as maybe a Jakeem Noah. I'm saying Jakeem Noah is actually a better defender than him. Fetus Ezeli is a better defender because not only does he get block shots, he improves the defense overall. I think the overall defense is gonna help others to help others, you know? So he's just gonna improve the defense around instead of just having one man try to block the shit out of everyone else. And then let's say they go against good teams like where they have good point guards or a good facilitating team, like especially the Golden State Warriors, they're gonna be able to get away from Hassan Whiteside because he's just trying to swat everybody that comes to the rim. Well, they're gonna be able to facilitate in ball movement, and what is Hassan Whiteside gonna do, right? Exactly. Well, maybe he's not blocking that much. Maybe he won't block that much and defend. We don't know how well he can defend actually. Besides blocking, well, we do know a little bit, but he's not that good at defending by himself if he's not blocking. At least I believe. And I think that's why he went undrafted. But he's such a beast still. I'm not saying he's not a beast offensively and defensively. And also, he doesn't have a mid range. What does the mid range have to do, right? Well, what I was thinking when I was thinking yesterday, it was like we try to package Hassan Whiteside and Lou Williams for DeMarcus Cousins. I think that's an excellent trade. Maybe even a second round pick of 2017. Maybe even I don't know if we're gonna have a first one, but if we have a first one, package it. We put the first one, right? So then we get DeMarcus Cousins. This is perfect. He's an excellent defender. Excellent. He's not excellent defender, but he's a very good defender. At least I think, and he's a very good offensive player. He's the best center in the league. I strongly believe that. Okay, he has a mid range. He has a 3-point shot, and he can defend, guys. And he's kind of fat. He's decently can move with the group, I think. And there's rumors of him wanting to come to LA. There's always rumors about the trades and stuff. But I think this is a really possible trade if you give Hassan Whiteside and Lou Williams in a future second pick or first round pick or second round pick of this year or 2017 or 2018. Right? So then you do that, you get DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins can shoot the mid-range, right? He can help Julius Randle develop his mid-range shot. And you're like, well, DeMarcus Cousins is the problem in the locker room. Well, Hassan Whiteside is actually a problem as well. And DeMarcus Cousins has been able to hold himself pretty well this year. So if he's doing better and he wants to be in LA, that's going to probably leave his locker room problems to diminish even more. So I'm just saying now our lineup is going to be looking like D'Angelo Russell, DeMar DeRozan, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and DeMarcus Cousins. That five is going to make it to the playoffs. I guarantee it. Or it'll be upset if they don't make it at least to the 8th seed. Because you got such a good... They're pretty young, too. DeMarcus Cousins and DeMar DeRozan. They're in their prime years right now. Make the playoffs. And then your backcourt. You're like, damn, you just traded Lou Williams. Well, that's why I think we should use our second pick actually on a shooting guard. I know we need a center, but you already have DeMarcus Cousins, and Tariq Black might be your backup. And you don't know how Tariq Black can be. He plays very well. If you give him more minutes, maybe he can excel. And I don't doubt we can make a trade. I doubt we can't make a trade, and we can even sign another center during free agency. But we're just saying we don't sign another center besides Hassan Whiteside, and then trade him with Lou Williams and a second round pick. So we're just gonna say our bench. So we have now we don't have Lou Williams, but we have Jordan Clarkson. So he's gonna be our sixth man, I think. So he gets a sufficient amount of time, so he stays with the team because Jordan Clarkson likes being a starter. I think everyone likes being a starter. Lou Williams is really good at the sixth spot, but I think Jordan Clarkson can be good at that area too. Now you got your shooting guard. We drafted your shooting guard, someone that can knock down threes consistently and dunk, or just attack the rim pretty well and can somewhat defend. That's all we need. It doesn't have to be amazing ceiling. He just has to be a good role player in the future with maybe somewhat of a potential to grow into maybe like not Kyle Kroger. That's way too good. I don't know. I don't know who to compare him to. Jeff Green, no, he's a small forward though. Maybe a JJ Redick, but he can't attack the rim that well. You know, someone like around that, like I'm gonna talk 2K like gold, silver tier, like a high 75 tier, maybe even 80 gold. So something like that, it would be fine. And then you got a small forward. You probably put Anthony Brown. I don't want Nick Young to getting too much minutes since his production is lowering, and Anthony Brown has quite a big, somewhat potential to grow into a good player. I think he can actually become also that like 75 to 78 or 79 future player or good role player. Right? He's there at times they were saying this year that he was the best defender on the team. I think he can be the best defender on the team. No, but not of that roster, but he can be a good defender. And he can knock down the three and he can dunk. He can do pretty much everything you need. He's gonna provide pretty decent stats every night, I believe. And then your power forward, you have Larry Nance. He's gonna bring the energy. He's gonna be dunking. He has a mid range. I think he has a better mid range than Julius Randle. I don't know, man. I've seen the games and I think he has a better mid range. He even knocked out a three or two, but I think Julius Randle knocked out a three or two. But that doesn't have to matter. There's a consistent mid range. I think Larry Nance is better. So that kind of gives you that flexibility. While Julius Randle is learning his mid range, Larry Nance has a better mid range, which gives you flexibility during if you're going against certain teams. And even if Julius Randle gets injured, you got Larry Nance to back you up. You can put Ryan. I'm saying we don't sign that many. We sign everyone back, so you have Ryan Kelly again. He's a stretch four. Let's say Julius Randle gets hurt, and then Larry Nance switches into the starting lineup, and then Ryan Kelly switches to the bench. Now, who's gonna be your center? I actually think we might want to sign Roy Hibbert. Maybe not. We should sign Jakeem Noah. But you were saying, what if we don't draft a center? We don't add a center. Well, then we got Tyreek Black. I feel like he can perform in a better role. And since the NBA world is making the small ball, I think he'll be very good at the small ball. He's 6'10". He's a beast. I think he ran this one play. He did a bad inbound pass, and he was able to block it, which made a score. I forgot which game was it. God, please don't beat the Kobe game. No, it wasn't Kobe game. Yeah, because I was gonna say if I don't remember any that like if it wasn't the Kobe game and I don't remember it, I'm not a Laker fan. But it wasn't the Laker game, Kobe's last game. So he blocks. He does a bad inbound pass to Lou Williams, and he's able to get the block right after. So I think he's a decent defender, and he can dunk. He'll be a good role player, and I feel like in a bigger role than just like the third tier of the like. There's a starting bench, and then like the back of the bench, like B6, B7, B8. I feel like he can perform better. But then again, you can after signing Hassan Whiteside and trading him for DeMarcus Cousins with Lou Williams, you can maybe sign like a Jakeem Noah, Fidus Ezeli. Jakeem Noah was a starter, but you can put up a small back bench, or you can sign whatever other center that's up for grabs and is a decent player, and you got your center right there. So this team, I feel like, can make it to the playoffs. I mean, and this all starts with just getting Brandon Ingram, and in our cap space and a new coach. I think we're in a good position and signing better, better staff such as Boran Shaw. I actually want him on the team, and then I want a really good defensive oriented coach backing Luke Walton and Boran Shaw, which will give us a good coaching staff, a good team, and I think just a solid team that's going to make the playoffs. And we can turn this thing around with just Brandon Ingram. That's what I'm saying. If we draft Brandon Ingram, that's what's going to happen. Maybe Ben Simmons too, I don't know. But this is my fantasy thing. This is my kind of my. I don't know if it's a fantasy. I think it's pretty realistic that these moves can be made. But then again, Sacramento doesn't really want to trade Marcus Cousins. But a lot of people have very really want Hassan Whiteside. So I think we can. I trust Mitch Kupchak being able to package Hassan Whiteside with Lou Williams and the second round pick to get acquired DeMarcus Cousins. So I think this is the best that we can do. I don't know. I think I just thought like this is the most realistic, best thing we can do. Like the best realistic thing, if you understand. But if you understand what that means, so like, comment, subscribe to my videos. I'm gonna do different types of versions of these. Like if we sign Al Horford, and if we sign we acquire Ben Simmons instead, and how his way of playing basketball will affect the team. And I already said that D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Ingram are going to stretch the floor while DeMar DeRozan is going to be dunking on people. And I think he can actually improve his three-point shot. His time in playoffs, though, he's been playing pretty bad. But he's starting to pick up the pace, I believe. I don't really know. I don't really watch the games, but they're being blown out by the Cavs, man. But I think we shouldn't offer him a max contract. I think we should offer him about 20 million per year. Sign him to maybe a 3-year deal, or for maybe even a 5 if you want, but don't do like a Nick Young where his production just falls down and then you can't really trade him because his contract is so high. So I think a 3 or 4. And if you really want to acquire him, a 5, and then if you really want to acquire DeMar DeRozan, $25 million per year for 25 years, no trade clause. No trade clause. No, you gotta be able to have a trade clause to be able to trade him. But I think this is pretty much it. So I'm gonna just give you a quick rundown what I said. So then, of our lineup is gonna be D'Angelo Russell, um, D'Angelo Russell. Oh my God, D'Angelo Russell, DeMar DeRozan, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, DeMarcus Cousins, Jordan Clarkson. That's this shooting guard redraft. Sorry, I'm a little sick. The shooting guard redraft. Um, Anthony Brown and Larry Nance, and then whatever center we are able to acquire, or Tyreek Black. So that's gonna be our team, and I think that's the most realistic and best way thing possible to happen over the summer. So hit me in the comments down below, and comments, and subscribe to my videos. I'm gonna make more videos like this coming soon. Now I'm gonna go play some 2K right now. So peace.